Well, hello everyone once again. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while already since my last one, and I wouldn't blame you guys if you guys were thinking that my channel was dead, which it pretty much was for about 4 months, at least when it comes to home cockpit videos. Um, but before I go any further, I almost forgot. I am not a spokesperson for SimVim or Real Sim Control. I am just a user like everybody else. So I do not represent them, and everything that I say is the way I see things, and it's my own opinions. So, that way I just want to make sure that's clear out there. So there are many reasons why I stopped recording videos. Obviously one of the major ones was because there was so many changes going on in the website and in the plugin that I was kind of like every time I wanted to log in and do a video, something wasn't working or something had changed. So it was like I didn't want to be chasing after all the changes, so I wanted to wait a while until it looked like everything was stabilized and everything was gonna pretty much stay the same. That way I can just make videos that wouldn't become irrelevant a week later. And there was also some other personal reasons why I wasn't very animated about making videos, but it looks like everything is good now. Another one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about is obviously you guys have noticed that the website has changed, and a lot of the things look a little bit different now, which for the most part I think they're really good changes that are going to be make the thing much easier to understand and to navigate. So as many of a couple of months ago when they changed the name to HCSCI, I was very unhappy with that name, and I think a lot of you guys were as well, because especially when you're trying to make videos about it or talk about it, it was very difficult to say too. So this new change that they did, that now they call it the plugin is called SimVim X, which used to be all in one package. It was all SimVim before the change. So now it's kind of good. They did the plugin and everything is called SimVim X, and it has its own website, and the configurator and all the hardware related stuff is called Real Sim Control, which is millions of times better than HCSCI. So that's a very good thing. So I'm gonna take you guys to the website just so we can talk a little bit about the main thing that I wanted to make my next videos about was the custom commands and data refs, and that's one of the things that kept changing so much that I just wasn't able to get a stable thing. So let me go to the website real quick and then we'll continue. Okay, so here we are on the Real Sim Control website now, which is the hardware part of it. So this is where you're going to find all the things about the wiring, the wiring that they show, all the different things about extension boards, power, Ethernet, all the different electronic components that you can buy. This is where all the instructions on wiring inputs and outputs is at. And I've always said the website, I really do like the website. It's really well laid out, and I think it's very clear to understand. So I think that's why Vlad gets a little bit upset when people don't seem to understand it just by looking at their website, and he gets mad that people have to look at videos. But as we've mentioned many times before, a lot of people need different ways of learning, and I think it's a lot easier to see with videos and examples. And I mean, I myself, and before I started repairing computers and laptops, I learned on YouTube. I looked at videos on how to repair screens on laptops, how to replace them, how to replace motherboards, how to repair power jacks, all that stuff I learned on YouTube. I didn't know how to do that before, and then I repaired a couple hundred computers that way, so it works. So anyways, this is where you go to the configurator, and I want to tell you guys something that I just found out, which is one of the things that was driving me up the wall. For a minute there I even thought that they had already banned me from the website, that I couldn't log in anymore because they're not very happy that I make the videos. But I'm thankful to say that that is not the case. I wrote to Vlad yesterday and I asked him, hey, how come I can't log in? Am I banned or something? And I really didn't want to write to him because I'm literally almost just kind of terrified to contact them now because of everything that has happened with the videos and the responses and everything. But also because I didn't want to find out that I was banned, and that maybe I wouldn't even be able to use this product anymore, because I'm really not very happy if I had to go to MobiFlight or some other solution. I really still believe that this is the best one, and it's only getting better. So I'm very happy to report that that's not the case. But anyways, so if you go to the aircraft conversions here, after you're in the configurator, this is where you're going to go to do the custom converter, the custom data refs and commands. So I'm not going to talk too much about it in this video, because that's going to be, you know, where I start off on the next one. But this is the main part I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I'm not sure if any of you guys have had this problem. But the problem with the converter here is that when you try to go to the converter, you have to be logged in. So you have to basically apply to get accepted to be able to do custom commands and data refs. And I really wish they would open this up to just the general public, but I kind of understand why they do this. You know, I know that if you want to cooperate on the airplanes that are getting converted that are on the website, you know, you have to be somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, you know, because you're going to contribute to a file that's going to be shared by everybody. So I understand that part, if that was only certain people allowed to do that. But in order to do your own personal conversions, I just wish that anybody could do it, you know, without having to be logged in. So this is kind of like a hurdle. But okay, if you notice right now on the website, I am on a non-secure website. So basically it's HTTP. And this is where I was having the problem where I couldn't log in. So if I try to log in, pay really close attention to a message that's going to come up right here real quick, okay, when I press login. So it says, see, it doesn't even want to let me. It wants to ask me to confirm again. So sometimes it would let me log in, but I would get a message saying, you must be registered first in order to access these pages. Right now it's not even letting me do that. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys, that you need to make sure that when you go to Real SIM Control, you need to be in a secure HTTPS website. And that's what I just found out yesterday, which was really good that I contacted him, because I was able to log in after that. So basically, if you have a bookmark or you have like a shortcut favorite here on the Google opening page or whatever browser you use, you need to make sure that it is set up for HTTPS, or you need to type it yourself when you type the address, because if you just type realsimcontrol.com, I think it defaults to non-HTTPS. So very important. So, you know, for me, for example, I would go to edit shortcut right here, and I would put an S right here to make sure it's https://realsimcontrol.com. And then now when you open it, now you can go to the configurator, you go to aircraft conversions, you go to the converter, and then it's going to be, you know, you ask you to log in, and then when you log in, guess what? It works. So this is all good now. So that was very handy for me to have found out yesterday. I did not see anywhere on the website that it says, you know, that you need to be logged in a HTTPS website. Most websites, when you go to like a portal, like for example, if you go to you know, something that uses personal information, your credit card, especially banking websites, even if the main portal is not HTTPS, the minute you click on something that's going to let you sign in, it converts it into an HTTPS website. So this one apparently doesn't do that, so you need to make sure that you do it on your own, and that way it will save you tons of headaches and time in figuring out why you can't log in. You know, for a long time I was thinking that maybe my password was wrong. I was thinking that, you know, maybe the website was broken, and I was thinking that they had banned me, you know, because I couldn't log in, you know. And there's a way that somehow, I don't know how it happened, once in a while, that every, you know, 2 to 3 weeks I was able to log in once, and then I wouldn't be able to log in anymore. So I wish that, you know, it would be done automatically, but it doesn't. But anyways, the good part is that it's working now. Another thing I found out yesterday, and I'm not sure if any of you have encountered this during the last few weeks, if you've been trying to use the custom converter, these two buttons weren't here even after I was able to log in, you know. So I told him, hey, the buttons for the new conversion, or the start a new conversion, were not there, you know. So he did something. He said he checked the script, and then he told me to clear my cache and try it again, and then they were here just like they are now. But I had already tried clearing my cache, 50, 60 times in the last month and a half, and sometimes when I was able to log in, sometimes they were there, sometimes they weren't. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but the good thing is that everything works now. So the main part of all of this, other than the fact that finally we can get to the custom converter, at least I can get to it, is that, the thing they gave us, that I'm really, really happy about, and I think is going to be a game changer for this plugin, is that they give us all these additional custom parameter keywords. You're going to make your own parameters. So instead of having like landing gear lever or something, if you wanted to make something that doesn't work, even like, let's say you wanted to do something like me, for example, everybody knows that when I try to program my little panel here, for the Airfoil Lab Cessna 172, it wouldn't work. I couldn't change none of the commands or data refs that are associated with these buttons because, as they don't allow us to change that, and they say that everything should work, but I don't need to go back into all of that again. I think everybody remembers from those videos that I showed this panel working with a Airfoil Lab Cessna 172, and none of these buttons were working because they all use custom commands or data refs. So now, I can go in, and this is what I'm going to show on the next video. I'm not going to get into it right now. But now we can go and create our own custom keywords or parameters here. So if we come to this part of the website here, you can see that we can choose momentary buttons, toggle switches, 3-position switches, momentary switches, 2-way, multi-position rotary switches, encoders, annunciators like LEDs or whatever, and displays. So we can actually make our own parameters or keywords, as they call them now. So I can go in and make a custom one for the ADF button, for the BFO button, for the frequency, the the flight time and the elapsed time, and the set and reset time, and also for the power button. I believe, if I remember correctly, that the tuner was working correctly, the encoder. So I would just need to do one for everything else. And that's what I plan to do on the next video. I'm not going to get into it now, but that's something that's going to be coming up in the next video. Now, they had said before there was a limit of 20 assignable, custom keywords or parameters. But I believe they removed that limit now, and they said that there's going to be a reasonable number of custom parameters or keywords that we can create. And I don't know what reasonable means. I really hope that it's more than 30 or at least 50, because sometimes you never know. Sometimes we might just need 5 or 6, or 8, and other times we might need more than 30, depending on what aircraft you're making. Like if you want to change all your buttons and everything for all the radios, like the transponder, the ADF, maybe the DME, and if you want to do like the GPS, sometimes those have a lot of buttons, and I think if I remember correctly, you cannot even change the ones for the GPS either. I think some of them you can. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm not going to say that straight out right now. But it's really good that they're giving us this option to do this now, because this is going to be what opens up that we can continue building our stuff and not be limited by, oh, you can't change this and you can't change that. So I am extremely happy for this. Now, the only other thing I wanted to mention before I go is that, if you remember correctly, I mentioned earlier that the websites has been split up, and you guys probably already noticed this, way before now. So now the hardware website is called Real Sim Control, which is just RSC, which is a hell of a lot easier to say than HCSCI. Yeah, I mean, you have no idea how happy I am that that name went away. But if you want to go to the plugin, the one that you put into the explain folder, if you go to the intro page, right here you can go to where you can download it here. And now remember, it's not called SimVim, it's called SimVim X, which is a great name for it because it goes with explain. So right here, this is where you get the plugin. So you go to this page here, and this is where you find the latest version, which is now 1.0.86, which apparently I need to update because I think I was on 1.0.85. But this is where everything related to SimVim, the plugin, is going to be located. And they also have the panels, the SimVim panels, which you can use other computers or even a Raspberry Pi to display your gauges, your instrument panels, on another monitor, if that's how you want to build your home cockpit. So that's how in this particular page. So you got to go to two different websites now. One is for the software part of it, one is for the hardware part of it and the configurator. But I think that's all great. I think that so far everything I see that they're doing is really, really good. I'm really happy with the direction that this is going, and it's making it way more flexible. And I'm probably beginning to sound like a broken record, like we used to say. And if you guys don't know what a record is, kids, go ask your parents. Anyway, I think that's all I have for this video. Hopefully I already have all the notes and everything for the first video where I am going to reprogram all the buttons that I mentioned on this panel that I built, and that's going to be what the next one is. And then on future videos I will also start talking about how to do like custom data refs and everything for multi-position switches, or for encoders, or for even for displays. But that'll all come over the next few videos. The most important one is to try to show that my panel that I built that wasn't working with the Cessna 172, the Airfoil Labs one, is hopefully now going to be able to work, because it gave us the ability to change or create our own custom keywords and parameters. So I want to say thank you very much for that. But anyways, I guess I'll let you guys go already, because this already turned out to be way longer than I was expecting, just like all my other videos. But hopefully I got my point across, and this is going to be very good for us. All right, so until next time, I'll see you on the next one.